Welcome, everybody, to the April Climate Restoration 2050 Mission Update. Like I said before, while we were waiting, we have a full session today. We may go a little bit over the hour, so I apologize in advance. And as usual, let's remind ourselves of why we're doing this and how we got to today.
Starting today and for the next 25 years, we will be living in a new reality. We are restoring the climate by 2050.
We are the future generations. We do not vote, so governments don't prioritize us. We do not pay taxes, so we are not in the budget. We do not buy products, so corporations ignore us. But you, our parents, our grandparents, our aunts and uncles, you have the power now. You are writing the story we will be born into. Will it be a world of chaos and collapse, or one of restoration, beauty, and life? We ask you to be bold, to stand up for us when no one else will, to make the choices today that will give us a tomorrow. Join the Climate Restoration Alliance. Sign the Climate Restoration Resolution. Fund the projects that restore the climate. Speak for us until we can speak for ourselves.
We are writing the story they will be born into. My name is Ilan Mandel. I will be your Climate Restoration Central Coordinator.
There's about 1,000 gigatons, so 1,000 billion tons, too much carbon dioxide in our atmosphere.
Financial losses from storms is about $200 billion a year.
We can solve this crisis. We know how to. Will we? That's up to you.
I'm committed to, and my passion is to have Rotary International take on climate restoration as its next global mission.
You are creating history and the future right now.
You know, we've been like this very small group of people, 4 or 5 people, and now we need more people.
And it's just like when you do something beautiful, people come and say, can I play? I want to be a part of it.
Localized ocean fertilization is a specialization of that for the whole planet to remove 60 billion tons a year, which is what we need to deliver our promise of restoring a safe CO2 level by 2050, about $1 billion a year. We can do that.
Boy, it sure looks really, really doable to me.
Total Bamboo Project is not just a project in Togo, because all of us in the entire world are restoring the climate together. Thank you very much.
Oh, I'm amazed at what I've heard, and I'm very excited.
This is the most important meeting I have ever attended in my life.
Thank you for the opportunity to play in the big leagues.
It's unbelievable how big an opportunity there is to quickly grow, this movement.
Well, I like exactly what the plan is.
Oh my gosh, no. We have an opportunity here that is stellar.
Go with this new project. Go, go.
Are we excited? Are we ready?
We are excited.
Very good. And this is just the beginning, just the beginning. We have so much new information and exciting information to share. Just want to remind you, obviously, the 25-year mission to restore the climate by 2050. As you probably remember, in the last March update, we added a few climate restoration pathways, and we can see, how our climate restoration roadmap is evolving. Today, we're going to talk about two partnerships that are in process, specifically around seaweed and around ecosystem restoration. So the next 5 years are going to determine the next hundreds of years. And within that 5 years, let's go to the next slide. We're in the process of preparation for scale up. There's a lot of stuff that is happening. A lot is happening behind the scenes. And I believe that in the next couple of updates, and when we get to July, we're going to have the dashboards, we're going to have the headquarters. It's going to be able to, everybody's going to be able to see where we're going and how we're getting there. Let's go to the next slide. A few people from the Climate Restoration Alliance attended EarthX, and specifically the second Climate Restoration Summit. The summit was put together by the Foundation for Climate Restoration, which is an independent organization in our ecosystem. We acknowledge them, and I wasn't there, but based on what I heard, they did a great job. We have a few people here that were there at EarthX. Please, we would like to hear from you briefly. What was your experience? Let's go by this order. Kirk, Ray, John, and Peter at the end.
So it was really exciting and amazing to be like 3,000 people there, just mind-boggling. The number of people, the amount of activity, the amount of interest. So it's really exciting to be part of that.
Ray?
So this was an awesome experience for me. I talked to a large number of people. It's amazing how many people I talked to were not aware of the Climate Restoration Alliance. And they sounded excited to learn that we are doing something meaningful.
Excellent, excellent, Ray. John?
Yeah, and Elon, I believe Marcus Cooper's on the call. So you may want to have him say a few things coming up here, but I just want to give a shout out to Marcus because he did an excellent job organizing the Tuesday conference on climate restoration. It was the whole day. We had a number of speakers, including Peter, Hunter Lovins, who you see in this picture here with me. She's well known in the sustainability community, talked about regenerative agriculture. And Bruce Melton, who's a naturalist and photographer, is sort of documenting climate change. He's got a film out called Climate Change Across America. So really an exciting session, and it's great to be a part of it. Peter?
Thank you very much. Peter?
Yeah, it was a fantastic 3 days. My key takeaway was meeting a former head of research for NOAA, and he had researched how to restore the climate, and they did not know how to do the measurement that we do, which reduces cost by almost a factor of 1,000. And I've got our first call later on this afternoon. So we get to educate him, and he will probably be an authoritative advocate for what we're doing. So that was very exciting. And the other thing is the Foundation for Climate Restoration people brought the elephants in the room. What's the elephant in the room? It's 1,000 gigatons of CO2 that we need to remove, and no one's talking about it yet. Okay.
Very nice.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Thank you.
Very nice. Yes, Marcus, if you're here, we would love to hear from you. Marcus produced the event, and I know he worked really hard. Marcus, would you like to say a few words?
Yes, I can. Oh, my camera's still off. My mistake. All righty. Yes, I can. It was really a pleasure for the Foundation for Climate Restoration to come together and invite all these different organizations. The Climate Restoration Alliance was very well represented. I want to give a particular thanks and shout out to Ray Sunby. Ray is a tireless advocate for CRA purposes and protocols. There were a lot of different people making a lot of different connections from the foundation, from Deep Green, from everything that Bruce and Hunter did, and the Climate Restoration Alliance being a part of that really did help spread the message, not just of climate restoration for the foundation, but for the specific endeavors that the CRA is taking on and doing. So really, seriously, you guys have a gem in Ray.
Very good. Thank you very much, Marcus. Are we starting to plan the third Climate Restoration Summit?
We are actually. So it's nominally done by the Climate Restoration Program, but the foundation is probably going to take it over just because their role as an advocacy organization is I think well suited to this particular endeavor, and also bringing different people together who aren't necessarily affiliated but are moving in the same direction.
Very good. Thank you very much. Let's go to the next slide. I will take this opportunity to introduce our new operations manager, Emilio. You're going to hear from him a little bit later. And he just sent me a message that we're a little behind, so we're going to accelerate. So we spoke about the three engines of climate restoration. The first one is the impact pathways. We know climate localized ocean fertilization is our main climate restoration pathway, and we're going to talk about a few more. The second engine is the global campaign, bringing people and organization to talk about and demand and take action for climate restoration. And the third one is industry and finance, making everything work and bringing in the investments and the funding needed. I like to think about it as 1 trillion tons of CO2, millions of people, and billions of dollars. That's pretty much what we need. Let's go to the next slide. So the first engine, like we said, the climate restoration impact pathways. The main one is LOF, localized ocean fertilization. We're going to hear a little bit about that and an exciting update about a field test that was done a couple of weeks ago. We're now in conversation with Brian Van Hertzen from the Climate Foundation to bring in seaweed as a climate restoration pathway. And then we're also talking to the Eco Restoration Alliance about bringing eco restoration as a very important aspect of climate restoration. And we just heard good news from Togo this morning. They've completed the land study for the bamboo project. We're now analyzing the reports and we'll be much wiser in a few weeks. Do we have John Schul with us? I guess he's not. So as you can see, there are other solutions that we haven't even started to look at. And we're looking for these kind of partnership. John is going to talk about the types of partnership a little bit later. But we're looking for, the Alliance of Mangrove Restoration, the Biochar Alliance, these network organizations that we can team up and bring those important solutions into the fold. Let's go to the next slide. So here you can see we've been developing dashboard technology. What you can see here is the aggregated capacity to remove CO2 from the atmosphere. You can see that LOF is expected to do most of the work, but we have other solutions that can scale to multi-gigaton levels. And altogether, if we meet all of our targets by 2030, this comes down to over 100 gigatons of CO2 removed per year. So we have a little bit of a buffer compared to the 60 gigatons that we say that we need. Let's go to the next slide. So let's hear from Peter, our Climate Restoration Movement founder, about LOF.
Thank you. So a real quick summary. I think most people here are familiar with our localized ocean fertilization technique. It's important when you talk in public about it that it's distinct from the traditional ocean iron fertilization, which is it's all photosynthesis in the ocean. And the difference is that we just realized that we could increase the productivity of it about 1,000 or 10,000 fold by putting the iron only in the places where it makes the difference, which is these downwelling eddies. They're 100-kilometer whirlpools, which, due to Coriolis effect, push the phytoplankton, the algae, down into the depths before the fish eat it. And the rest of the ocean, as much as you grow, almost 99% of it gets eaten by the fish. And the other important thing about it is that it removes so much CO2 that we can measure it with surface buoys, with surface CO2 measurement devices. And we did a test of that 2 weeks ago in Palo Alto, East Palo Alto at Cooley Landing, and to verify the amount of diffusion, dispersion of the CO2. And what we found is that it was about 50% more than we expected. If it had been just purely on the water, which in retrospect makes sense because you can see in the pictures we were about a meter above the water and there was some grass causing more turbulence and then more mixing. Anything else you want me to say about that?
No, that was perfect. Ray, anything you'd like to add briefly?
This was exciting for me. It was my first actual hands-on work testing CO2 sensors. I had my hand on the valve that released the CO2 when called for, and it was a great time.
Yeah, it's a great story for prosperity. You were there when we started. Very good. Let's go
Elon,
yes.
John Scholl's in the waiting room.
Oh, very good.
I'm here. I'm here now. I'm here now. Thank
Okay,
you.
so let's, John, I would love to hear from you. Emilio, if you can go back to that slide. So John is the CEO and founder of the Eco Restoration Alliance. Very happy to have you here with us, John. Can you tell us a little bit, briefly, 2-3 minutes about you, the organization, and what is possible for us together?
Thank you. I'm sorry, I had a technical problem. I am the co-founder with Philip Bogdanoff and Bio4Climate, who is here now, of the Eco Restoration Alliance, a global network of change makers, ecologists, storytellers, and scientists who have converged around the essential insight that living ecosystems are the planetary climate control system. We have a particular interest in the non-greenhouse gas processes that actively cool the planet through mechanisms which complement the sequestration of carbon, cloud cover, and evapotranspiration, and biotic pump, and all of these processes that keep the climatic system alive and well. But certainly, we are fellow travelers in this movement, and we have just written a white paper that tries to put all of these climate control mechanisms into context by using watts per square meter as a metric and focusing on the rapidity of efficacy of the various manipulations, of which localized iron fertilization would seem to be a really promising candidate. So I'm happy to be here.
Very good, John. So in 60 seconds, what might be possible if we all join the climate restoration movement?
I believe we are part of the climate restoration movement. And I think that our contribution will be to shift the debate to a more balanced view of what's possible and what is critical in addressing climate, biodiversity, and mass extinctions, which are all part of the same syndrome.
Yeah, very good, very good. It's obviously not either or. We got to move forward on all fronts. Emilio, let's go back to the. Thank you very much, John. It's great to have you here, and we'll follow up soon with some more exciting developments. So going back to LOF, as you can see, this is the dashboard for localized ocean fertilization. These are the KPIs or the key performance indicators that we're going to measure over the next 5 years. For those of you who are seeing this dashboard for the first time, I'll just share a little bit about the structure. The middle, the first ring is the baseline, right, where we started in 2025. And then we have for each year between now and 2030, we have one ring for the actual result and then another one for the target. So the idea is that over time, we'll see the evolution like rings of a tree. And obviously, it's going to be interactive. So we can click on that and zoom in and see who's doing what and what kind of support they need and how we can get involved and so on. This is going to be very, very powerful tool for us. Let's go to the next slide. The second engine, like we said, right, the first one is how do we deal with the trillion tons of CO2? The second one is about millions of people. And so we have a few people here that I would like to invite to give us a quick report. Judy is our new director of the ambassador program. John is our new director of partnerships. Brian is the grassroots movement facilitator. I think that's the title. And we have Amelia here, who's the operations manager, and Chuck, who's leading the Rotary initiative. So, Judy, let's start with you and let's go to the next slide.
Okay, I just want to say that, the ambassador program started with 3 of us a couple of years ago, and now we're up to, when everybody gets all their paperwork done, about 70 people all around the world engaged as ambassadors. We're really thrilled about that. We intend to have, as you see, 100 ambassadors this year, which I think will easily go over. But the main thing is, too, to have everyone, like all major religions, all, representation from indigenous tribes, major industries, and then our other select groups, like we have an ambassador now for youth and our first ambassador for youth. So really important to have people all over the world. Sometimes people ask, what does it mean to be an ambassador? And mainly we tell people, keep doing what you're doing. If you came to us, there's some way you're already engaged in climate, and then we'll just all get better and more impactful by joining together.
Very good. And now that we're expanding the ambassador program and more people are coming in, we're also automating the process. So we're going to share a link that was just, released in the last couple of days for people to apply to be an ambassador. And so you're going to see that link in the chat in a few seconds. And if anybody here wants to become an ambassador, please fill out that form. And Judy, when you think about 10,000 ambassadors by 2030, compared to what we thought about, 2-3 months ago, do you think that we can make it?
I do. I think already, when you see people connect up from, Norway to a country in Africa to, Panama and Chile, where some of our ambassadors are, and Southeast Asia, which is just exploding. They start to find what they have in common, and all of a sudden something more becomes possible. So just in those little connections, you can imagine if we get everybody connected.
Very good. And so this is an actual live map of the ambassadors. Emilio, can we switch just for a second to the live interactive map? Right, so this is what it looks like right now. 70, 80, some of them are still in process, but you can see we're covering a significant, portion of the world. And obviously, we want more ambassadors, like Judy said, faith, indigenous, service organizations, and so on. So at some point, this will become publicly available. And imagine, what we can do with a network of 10,000 ambassadors across the world, all focused on the same thing, opening doors, starting conversation, bringing in resources, and eventually have a climate restoration center, at least one in each country of the world. Let's go to the next slide. John, would you like to give us your report? No, go back, Emilio.
Yeah, so we're working to partner with as many organizations. And the most basic way to partner, I'll talk about this a little bit more later on, but the most basic sort of partnering we have is a climate restoration resolution where we ask other organizations if they want to sort of get on board with the climate restoration movement. So we've got about 24 of those resolutions signed right now. We've got a number sort of pending, and our goal is to reach 100 this year, which I think is very, very doable. And just to highlight, so some of those are Rotary clubs. Rotary is a very important component. They're very important supporters to our effort. Some of those are Africa-based NGOs. There's some in Uganda, Kenya that have signed on to that. So this is very global. And then another one I'll just mention is the Climate Initiative, which is focused on educating youth. And I think increasingly that's going to be an important part of our agenda, is to ensure that youth are on board with climate restoration in the movement. So I'll talk more about partnerships a little bit later on.
Excellent. Thank you very much, John. Let's go to the next slide. So as you can see, the global campaign with the global targets is going to be broken down to multiple campaigns. We're going to build it in a kind of a plug and play architecture so we can have other campaigns. For example, the Foundation for Climate Restoration can also report, their numbers and so on, so we know how many people we have in the movement. So we're going to continue with the online campaign. We're going to talk about the Rotary campaign in a minute. But I'd like to invite Brian to say a few words briefly, 2-3 minutes, about the grassroots campaign.
Okay. Hi, Elon. Can you hear me and see me okay?
We can hear you and see you okay.
Okay, great. All right. So a grassroots campaign, basically right now we're working on creating some basic tools to enable and empower our climate restoration ambassadors to be active out in their communities to educate and create awareness about the climate restoration movement. We are working, we now have a one-page flyer that we're being translated into 6 UN languages. We have a half-page flyer. We have a little basic logo that says Climate Restoration 2050 translated into 6 languages. We're looking to work with other groups, specifically a group called Climate Cardinals, which has 19,000 young people who volunteered to translate climate documents for different climate organizations into languages so that to facilitate the climate movement. So we're looking to partner with them for our climate restoration movement to get some basic materials out there. And then we're just working to kind of empower our network of climate ambassadors to be able to have some tools to do what they're already doing, be active in their communities, and create but also at the same time create a general common knowledge of climate restoration and our campaign goals for 2050 to restore the climate.
Very good. Thank you, Brian. For the grassroots campaign, we haven't done the work to develop the KPI. So we don't know exactly what is our roadmap for the grassroots campaign. But Brian, from your perspective, right, and based on what you know and what you see, what do you see is available for the grassroots campaign in a year? And what would it look like by 2030? Briefly.
In a year, I think we can engage different networks and expand on our successes with creating ambassadors and partner organizations to, do some kind of a massive transnational engagement, action, event, whatever you want to call it, focused on climate restoration by the end of the year to try and achieve this goal of 1 million people engaged in 2026. And we can build on that year after year to achieve our goals for the number of people engaged in 2030. And certainly by 2030, the knowledge or the word climate restoration and awareness of the climate restoration movement and all the businesses, groups, and people involved will be very well known throughout the world. There'll be a lot of materials, movies, T-shirts, everything out there to create awareness for engaging in the climate restoration movement.
Very good. Amen to that. Let's go to the next slide. Thank you very much, Brian. And thank you, John. And thank you, Judy. I would like to invite Chuck. Chuck, are you with us? So Chuck has been our first climate restoration ambassador. He's also the climate restoration ambassador to Rotary. And, like Judy said, we started with 3 people, and now I think we have over 10 Rotary ambassadors. Is Chuck here with us?
Thank you, Ilan. And as Ilan said, I'm Chuck Tomaselli. I'm the ambassador to Rotary International for the Climate Restoration Alliance. I want to give a quick update on the Rotary Climate Restoration Initiative as part of the Climate Restoration Global Campaign and where things stand today. What really makes this powerful is simple. Rotary already exists at scale. We're talking about 530 Rotary districts, 46,000 Rotary clubs, and 1.4 million Rotarians worldwide. All Rotarians already committed to being of service to the environment and the planet. That's why Rotary is such a natural fit for this work. So what we're going to do is not building something new from scratch. We are partnering with an existing global network. We've started at the district level, in our case, at CNY Rotary, which is Rotary District 7190, with its 111 clubs in Central New York. And we're using that as a pilot. We have established a founders group, which consisting of 8 Rotarians other than myself, which will create the framework for the initiative with our next meeting next Friday, and taking this out into clubs and districts, as well as other Rotary clubs and districts through and other climate-like organizations throughout the world. At the same time, we're testing local impacts like that happening in Lomé, Togo, with its 2 clubs there, Rotary clubs there. From there, the goal is to develop a model that can be taken to scale from pilot to global action. The key is that this isn't about awareness. It's about coordinated action and measurable progress. And that's where the next piece comes in. Ilan is going to walk you through how we're tracking the progress and using the campaign dashboard and key performance indicators all the way out to 2030. Enjoy your walk into the future of climate restoration with Ilan. We are restoring the climate by 2050. Thank you.
Very good. Thank you. Thank you very much, Chuck. And thank you for all the work that you have been doing and will be doing. And we're very excited to wait for your 107th birthday in 2050. And as you can see, as Chuck said, here's the dashboard for the Rotary campaign. And again, just imagine, right? Our strategy with the pilot in CNY is to outreach 111 clubs and get a climate restoration ambassador for each club. There are 46,000 clubs. Even if 50% of the clubs will give us an ambassador, that's 23,000 ambassadors, and we already, crossed the target by 2030 easily, right? Twice as many as we need. So as you can see, there's a lot of redundancy in the plans. The campaigns support each other. Rotary will bring ambassadors. Ambassadors will bring donors. Donors will support projects, and so on. This is going to be a lot of fun. Let's go to the next slide. Thank you, Chuck. So, John, back to you.
Yeah, just to say a little bit more about partnerships. So we're looking to partner with all sorts of organizations, primarily NGOs, but also businesses, others. And that most basic way to partner, that level 1, is really just to get an organization on board with supporting the climate restoration movement, where we have a common goal of restoring the climate. And signing a climate the restoration resolution then kind of makes them more aware of what we're doing, and then we're more aware of what the other organization's doing, which is a great foundation for building a partnership. Further down the line, we're looking for some deeper partnering. It can be around a communications campaign, a common event that we both support, other things, and then joint programming where we're actually looking at going in together. Maybe, for example, if it's LOF, we do a piece of it, another organization can do a piece of it, and we go in together. So Elan mentioned earlier about a couple of organizations we're talking with, and as we move along, we're going to be looking for those deeper levels of partnerships. And you can see from the graphs, we've got a number of organizations in the pipeline that we're talking to and plan on talking with. And I'll just mention, I'm looking for additional help. If any of you are interested in helping with partner outreach, maybe you know of an NGO that we can talk to, for example, or if you're just interested in helping in the outreach, I'm going to put my email in the chat, and I'd love to talk more with you. So back over to you, Elan.
Thank you. Thank you very much, John. And thank you for bringing that up, because that's not just true for John. I assume Judy and Chuck and everybody on the team and Brian can use lots of help. This thing's going to scale up quickly. I think we're very close to the hockey stick. And so we're working hard to get the teams in place, the systems in place, and the funding in place. A great way to jump in is to apply for an ambassador. If you're interested in that, you're going to have the link in the chat, or reach out to John directly, or Judy, or Chuck, or Brian, or just put your name and email and phone in the chat and let us know what you're passionate about, and we'll reach out. Let's go to the next slide. So remember, Engine 1 is about the impact pathway, removing the CO2 and restoring the ecosystems and all of that. That's the actual impact in reality. The second engine is the movement, the power of the people. And the third engine is about the money. And so in our ecosystem, we're launching a few we call it 4 impact companies, right? Where they are companies, they can get investment, they can make money, but they're always staying focused on the impact, on restoring the climate as the top priority. And I want to mention 3 of them that we're working on. There's a few others that we're not going to mention right now. So the dashboard company, as you can see, those dashboards are becoming very, very effective. And we actually want to productize that and create a company. Do we have Hugo here with us?
Yes, Elan, I'm here. Yeah.
Very good. So Hugo is one of the co-founders of the dashboard company, a biomimicry professional. Hugo, would you like to just say a few words?
Yeah, well, thank you for the opportunity, and I'm very happy that the dashboard is working and looking forward to productize it. I think it's a great adventure to do it within the Climate Restoration Alliance. So thank you very much.
Very good. Thank you, Hugo. And Hugo is I would say, genius behind the visualizations and so on for decades, taking biomimicry principles and implementing that for us to be able to visualize and handle lots of data in one place. And these ring dashboards is just one of the features. There's going to be others. This is going to be very exciting. The Climate Restoration Venture Studio is our factory for 4 impact companies and projects. And the Climate Restoration Investment Fund, we're now actively developing and designing that. So I'm just going to say, for those of you who want to become investors in the climate restoration industry, this is now becoming a real opportunity. So if that is interesting, if you're passionate about investing and moving this engine forward that way, please get in touch or put your name in the chat or reach out to myself. Let's go to the next slide. Mark Biondi has been doing a great job developing and leading the Climate Restoration Corporate Founder Program. In short, the corporate sponsorships. Mark, would you like to say a few words?
Thanks, Alon. Yeah, absolutely. Hey, everyone. Really spent the past few months building out some of the infrastructure so that we can scale and connect with some companies. And before I even speak about that, I want to just take a moment to send a special shout out of thanks, particularly to Chuck Tomaselli, really our first corporate sponsor at C. Lewis Tomaselli Architects, and Kirk Lofton around Numera Lighting out of Canada. Two folks who really stepped up to say they want to see this happen in action. And I've had some absolutely wonderful conversations with so many folks who are here today, and want to definitely have a shout out to Andre, to Mark, to Raj, to Tim Chamberlain, and Terry, who have spent some time with me. And those conversations really, they've introduced me to some really incredible folks, and Chuck and Kirk as well. So we're starting to have these conversations with organizations that are starting to have that interest in how they might be able to support this effort. And I just want everybody on this call to know it might just take that one conversation. So every person on this call today, I want to invite you to please let's connect. If we haven't spoken yet, let's have a conversation. Talk with me and Alon, just about who maybe in your network might be interested in learning about this. It's about building a relationship, and then some of those organizations might take that step forward. Or if you have an organization yourself and you'd like to learn more about how you can really help this, that's what really we're looking for. So it really could, and we say it, Alon and I said a lot, it could be that one conversation that really kicks everything into action. So I really encourage all of you to please reach out to me. I think, let me take a look. I think that Emilio may put some things into the chat for you all. So please reach out. Ready to talk to you. And so thank you all.
Very good. Thank you. Thank you very much, Mark. And I'll just be very clear about that. The requirement to become a corporate sponsor are very easy. All you have to be is a business owner or a CEO that loves their kids and grandchildren. If this is you, then you qualify. Talk to Mark. This is really, Chuck Tomaselli forever is going to be the first climate restoration ambassador and also the first climate restoration corporate sponsor. This is for legacy. So jump in and get in touch with Mark or with me. Let's go to the next slide. Judy, will you introduce this?
I will. There's so many things, it's even small, every small step helps to support this launch. So you can speak to a friend or a neighbor or someone in your family. You can sign the Climate Restoration Pledge, which I'm sure is in the chat if you haven't already done that. As Mark said, you could introduce us to anyone who owns a business or a corporate leader who might support climate restoration so that Mark can have a conversation with them. And if you work for a company, ask them to consider supporting restoring our climate. You could join one of our teams as a volunteer, and that also will be in the chat, or become a monthly supporter of climate restoration in any amount, or become a climate restoration ambassador. And as I said before, you just continue doing what you're already doing because we know you're interested if you're here. So I would just say, jump into this, jump into something. And not just one time. We can talk to somebody every day, many times a day.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Judy. So a couple of points. First of all, if you want to join as an ambassador, we now have an application form. Up until now, everything was done manually. So you will get the link to the application form to become an ambassador in the chat. And also, Emilio, if you can say a few words about the Climate Restoration Pledge. We're in the process right now of translating it to multiple languages. Can you give us the information?
Yes. Hi, everyone. So basically, we've been working on translating the pledge in many languages. Currently, the Marathon Italian pledges are live on our site. I'll post them in the chat soon. We also are working on Spanish, French, Russian, Chinese, Arabic, and Hindi. So look forward to that. We'll have the pledge in as many languages as possible. We also want our community to engage with us. So if you are a native speaker of one of those languages, again, I'll post them in chat soon. Write me, send me a PM, and we can connect with to, if you want to help translate our site and contribute to the cause. Thanks.
Very good. And yes, we already did the obvious connection between what Brian was talking about, the climate resolution cardinals. We can see how we can make that connection, just translate the pledge to every possible language as quickly as possible. So if you can help with that, please let us know. Let's go to the next slide. So in order for us to take off, in order for us to continue to accelerate the acceleration, we need fuel in the tank. So there's a few ways for you to support. You can join the existing climate restoration founders and champions with a 5,000 a year, 25,000 a year, or 100,000 a year pledge for 3 years. Mark mentioned the corporate founders, the corporate sponsorship program. Mark, anything you'd like to say about that?
Just so what we've built out, and we can go into more detail when we speak, but to really, for companies that want to get involved with that there's, I think there's real opportunity for some value back to that organization as well. Being early on in this, supporting it, but also ways to engage your workforce and really bring the folks that are in that company really close to this mission. And it's sort of a flywheel, right? Because then those folks, I think, would become ambassadors and it moves. And I just can't stress enough, and I think Judy mentioned it as well, and it goes the Catherine Hayhoe philosophy of talking about things really does make a difference. So there's an opportunity here for us to connect with organizations, and you can play a role in that. And those organizations can lead to more ambassadors, which lead to more organizations and make this thing a reality.
Mark, how do you think it would make the employees of a company feel when they know that the company is supporting climate restoration?
Yeah, so I think that's a really big point is, right now, just I think for particularly the Gen Z and millennial mindset, right? It's excited are you going to be just about a year over year percentage increase? Like they want to know who they're dedicating their time to is doing something positive impact on the world. And maybe I'm it's just eternal optimist, but I do believe that people are looking for more than that. And we sacrifice a lot of our time for the places that we work. And you want to make sure that I think those employees will want to feel like they're lending their time, sacrificing their time away from the people that they love and the things that they love, do something in this world that has meaning.
Very good. So not just employees, also customers and partners and so on.
Right.
And at some of these levels, we're even going to invite Peter to speak to the employees. So that's going to be very exciting. So obviously, the third option is to become a monthly donor. If you donate more than $100 a month with a 3-year commitment, you will become one of the founders. But again, every amount helps. This is not about the number. This is about more and more people supporting the mission. Let's go to the next slide. So we're almost at the end, and we'll have a little bit of time for Q&A, and then whoever wants to stay can stay. Our next ambassador gathering is going to be on May 13. It's by invitation only, so look for the invite from Judy in your inbox.
And if somebody wants to be invited, they could email me so I make sure that they get an invitation. And I'll put
yes,
my
of course. Obviously,
put my
this is
email in the chat.
yes. Thank you for that. This is not an exclusive club. We want everybody to join, but you do have to request an invitation. The next community update is going to be exactly 4 weeks from today, May 28th. 9 a.m. Pacific, 12 p.m. Eastern. You can scan the QR code or register using the link in the chat. I request that everybody register right now because some people can't find the link and so on. So just register now. Be sure that you're there because every update is going to be more exciting and more interesting than the previous one. And given the fact that we don't have enough time, the next one is going to be 90 minutes, right? So we'll do the presentation in an hour, and then we have a relaxed 30-minute Q&A session. And then on top of that, we are continuing to have the drop-in calls every Wednesday. These are becoming really, really fascinating meetings. We never know what to expect. Life is like a box of chocolate. Judy, would you like to say something about that?
Oh, they are just really drop-ins. And so it's a time for ambassadors to come together and people who are thinking about becoming ambassadors and just share about what's going on in your neck of the woods or what you wish was going on or what you're dealing with, or just to hear from other people ideas for what we could be doing.
Yeah, thank you very much. So I think that's it. We can go to the last slide. Thank you very much. This has been a full presentation with a lot of details. We're now going to stop sharing and opening up to Q&A. I know some people have to leave at the top of the hour, so we let them speak first. And we already have Philip raising his hand. Go ahead, Philip.
Elon, I know that John Scholes had some discussions with you about this. We are reluctant to sign the climate resolution pledge because it's wholly focused on CO2. And we have many other dimensions to the climate crisis. We would like to invite you to consider broadening it to look at a minimum, the heat flow issue. But we also have, ocean acidification. We have, wild biomass is now 5% of human and domesticated animals. All these other issues are part of the fabric of how we have a healthy climate on this planet, and we can't just focus on one dimension of it. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Philip. And this is a really important comment, and we get that a lot, right? Obviously, focus is important. Otherwise, we can't get stuff done. But there's so many issues and so many problems around the world that we obviously can't focus on just one thing. So the way that we're approaching this is to have multiple groups and teams and people all focus on whatever they are focused on. And so the Alliance really is a place for convening, for creating that global movement. And within that global movement, we have different organizations that are focused on different things. And so it's totally fine. What we want is to work in a collaborative way and support each other. Having said that, the Climate Restoration Resolution is not a Climate Restoration Alliance document. We're proposing that draft for organizations to edit it and adopt it based on their own mission statement and their own values and principles. So specifically about the resolution, you can feel free to edit it and change it so that it fits your organization. And if we're talking about changing the template for everybody, that's a different conversation. We're open to that. We don't have all the answers, and we're developing and exploring and identifying, right, what is the right path forward. And every organization, every voice, every feedback helps us to be more fine-tuned. So thank you, Philip.
Quick clarification. What is that? What you are translating into all these other languages?
No, that's the pledge.
Okay, got it.
The pledge is for individuals saying, I'm committed to restoring the climate, and the resolution is for organization. So the decision usually happens at the board level. But Philip, I'm really looking forward to working with you and with John and with the Eco Restoration Alliance. There's so many ways that we can help each other and support each other. So this is just, the time to figure it out. Paul, go ahead.
I've asked this question before, and I really think it needs to be clarified. Human anthropogenic emissions are about 30 gigatons a year. So over the next 20, so when you talk about removing 60 to remove a total of 1,000, it's not going to take 25 years. It's going to take 50 years, right? You have to remove a net 60 in order to hit your target. So I think this needs to be clarified carefully for people, because what are we really talking about? Removing a net of 60, so removing 90 to counteract the 30 emissions every year. Are we expecting that 30 to go to zero? I don't think that's going to happen anytime soon.
Great
So I think
question.
we need to clarify these points. I think it's crucially important for the
Yes,
organization to clarify
So,
this.
I agree. I'll just give you the history. I think that was, back of the napkin calculation, 8 years ago. If we have a trillion ton of CO2, right, and we remove 60 gigatons a year, and we assume that the emission will go down to 10 gigaton per year, that would give us a net removal of 50 times 25 years. That's the trillion ton, right? So that's the dry, simple numbers. Obviously, a lot can change.
Right, but those assumptions should be stated very clearly, I think, and they're not.
Okay, that's a good point. Thank you. Thank you very much, Paul.
Okay, thank you.
Shams Badwal, welcome. I haven't seen you before. We can't hear you. Is it just me?
Muted.
Yeah, there may be a problem with the microphone. So figure this out. Let's go to I don't know how to pronounce your name. Giliana Katz.
Yes. Can you hear me?
We can hear you, yes.
Okay. Yes, I have a very simple suggestion. When one is asking for donations, one should be very clear of why, what one is doing to improve the situation, and possibly to have a video that shows, in the case of the ocean, what on earth has been, or what in water has been happening, and then how the treatment with iron, etc., is improving the situation. Because people respond a lot to the visual stimulation, much more than just numbers. That is my suggestion.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Giliana. And is this something that you want to help with? Fine-tune the message?
I'm afraid I would not be able, I'm not a photographer, and I wouldn't be able to produce a video. But I think that once the material was available and with very clear explanation, such as Peter gave at the beginning, why he is using this treatment in particular, then I could spread it around to friends and colleagues.
Very good. Thank you. Thank you very much. I can tell you that one of the team leaders that we're looking for is a communication manager, communication director. This is a position that we're missing to do exactly that, right? To take all the information and tell the story in a way that makes sense. So if you are a communication manager or director, or you know of somebody that can volunteer and help us with that, that'll be great. Thank you very much, Giliana. Let's go back to Shams. No, we still can't hear you. Maybe do you want to connect maybe from your phone so we can see you on the screen and hear you from your phone. So let's work on that. Kirk, go ahead.
So this is very exciting to hear from everyone. And Dilshad, I'm going to call on you. So I'm very pleased and proud to say that I'm the one that found Dilshad. She's this incredible gem in Southeast Asia, and she's just bringing on lots of people. So I wanted to give her a moment to tell us what she's doing. Go ahead, Dilshad.
Hello everyone, I am Dilshad from Pakistan, and I have been working with Climate Restoration Alliance lately. I have developed a few presentations for the Climate Restoration Alliance, the ambassadors, and right now I am working to have more ambassadors from the South Asia on board, and I am representing the South Asian region mainly. Like, we know the South Asian are somehow left behind, so they can be saying like, okay, yes, so we are letting this cause. So, and I am really enjoying working with the Climate Restoration Alliance, and I'm really excited to be part of that. Thank you.
Very good. Thank you very much, Dilshad. We have AM and Linda. It's good to see you.
Thank you. It's good to be seen. And I just want to thank each and every one of you for being here. This is an exciting future. And also, like what Judy said, do what you're doing. You're already an ambassador. You may not have signed the paperwork or anything like that, but you are an ambassador. Just like you are a human being, you are an ambassador. And let's get this done. And I was saying, eventually, it's not going to be climate restoration. It is going to be climate restored, period.
Very good. Very good. Thank you. Linda, would you like to say something? No. Okay.
No.
Okay. Very good. Thank you. Thank you. And it's good to have you back. I know you were moving from one side of the country to the other. So it's good that you're finally there. We have a weekly meeting with our LOF team. And first of all, I want to acknowledge the fact that we're over the time. And thank you, everybody for staying a little bit longer. And like I said, next time we're going to go back to doing a 90-minute session. So in the weekly LOF session that we meet regularly, for a few months now, right? At the beginning of each session, I'm always asking people to introduce their name, where they are, and what they're doing on the team. And in the last meeting, I think it was 2 days ago, I asked people to introduce somebody else on the team, to say where they are from and why they are on the team and so on. And it was just beautiful to see that, from a group of individual stranger, right, coming together to work together on this important mission, we now have a powerful, strong, bonded team that knows each other, that knows, who to talk to about this and about that. And so this is what it is to be a community, to be a family. And it's very, very exciting to see how this whole thing is growing and evolving. If there's anybody else that wants to say something, please raise your hand. Otherwise, there's a few new people here. Oh, Shams, are you with us?
Yeah, am I audible now?
Yes, yes.
Wonderful. So hi, I'm Shams. I'm from Mumbai, India. And I am particularly interested in understanding how I saw a presentation on the Climate Restoration Alliance. I think it was Paul Beckwith's YouTube video. And what I am particularly interested in how the cost assumptions were reached regarding LOF and this method, and essentially why I am interested in this in particular is because I'm trying to plan a startup venture myself, trying to secure funding and even perhaps create a sort of infrastructure of sorts that enables LOF, talk about MRV equipment, ion fertilization equipment, eddy detection stacks, could be perhaps software tools, eddy predictive modeling and all of that. And a very crucial part here is the cost behind carrying out such an operation. And these costs, I believe, may have many variables involved that might differ between geographies. Like India, for example, has low costs when it comes to human labor. And when it comes to, like, say, carrying out such an endeavor in California, for example, the cost obviously would be significantly higher. So if I could get an insight into that, I'm not sure who the right person to reach out here is, but that would be extremely helpful.
Thank you. Thank you for this question. I think the right person would probably be Peter, and I think Peter had to leave because he had another meeting. So I can share a little bit of information, but it will be high level. And if you can put your name and that specific request in the chat, then we can follow up and send you some of the papers that Peter's been working on. But generally speaking, all right, the idea is that we believe that we can remove 60 gigatons per year by fertilizing the ocean in about 50 sites, right? So with an average of 1 to 2 gigaton per site. And for each site, we need the ship, we need the iron, we need the buoys. Right now, we're working on a self-positioning buoys that know how to get there and come back on their own. So if you calculate the whole thing, right, the cost of the ship, the cost of the iron, the cost of the people on average, and everything around that, that comes to around $1 billion a year, right, roughly. So
at a global scale, you mean, right?
at the global scale, right? And if
Mm.
you divide 60 gigatons, or sorry, $1 billion a year divided by 60 gigatons, you will see that the cost per ton of CO2 removed is very, very low. I think it's under $1. So that's the rough calculation. And the specifics, we can reach out. And if this is interesting to you, get involved. Maybe join one of the LOF team meetings. Maybe you can help or learn something there.
Absolutely.
All right. Thank you. Thank you very much, Shams. Good to see you. Philip.
Hi, Elon and everybody. So I've been the chair of the North Bay chapter of Foundation for Climate Restoration for like 5 years now, and building and growing and kind of think a one-man show here in the North Bay area. And I'm just a little confused as to, I had no idea all these people were doing this. So bravo to everybody. And I'm just not, well, should I shift to become part of the alliance, or keep doing what I'm doing? I'll call Peter and ask Peter. He's the one who told me what to do. But the next meeting on the 28th, is that going to be an hour and a half?
Yes, I believe so.
And the woman who said, send me an email to get an invite to what?
That was Judy Owens Manley to get
That was the
invited to
ambassador meeting.
Ambassador program.
Oh, okay.
Ambassador.
All right, I'll send her an email.
Very good. So Philip, obviously, I can't tell you what to do. It's good to ask advice from Peter. Generally speaking, the Foundation for Climate Restoration was created in 2017 by myself, Peter, and Terry, that is maybe still with us. And then over time, things evolved. I left, Peter left, and Terry left. And so the foundation is now moving in its own direction. We're obviously very aligned on the vision and the mission, but the implementation is different. And like you saw, these are two independent organizations. So do some research and decide where is the right place for you.
Yeah. Okay. Maybe.
And if you,
Elon, can I answer Philip as well, being someone who actually started Philip, I don't think you know, with a link to the Foundation for Climate Restoration. And I don't personally, I participate in your programs as well as the climate restoration. I don't see any problem with belonging to both. And I would not invite you to encourage you to leave where you're at. I think the more people that are involved in both, the stronger the overall movement to restore our climate's going to be. And I invite you to use your understanding as you get to grow more with the climate restoration to empower the foundation as well. So it's like we're not in any way at odds. And I think it's a wonderful synergy to see the two groups as I see them from the inside looking both ways. So I just pass that on. Thank you for allowing me to answer that, Elon.
Thank you. Thank you. Well said, Chuck.
Good advice. And the woman that was wanting to have a video, Marcus Cooper has a video. We've got a created video that's 6.5 minutes long. That's like tells the whole story. It's excellent.
Is there any way you can share that link in the chat?
Marcus?
Oh, yeah, Marcus is still with us. So while we're waiting for that, Andre, did you want to share something?
I'll put my information in, Elon, and then send me an email and I'll send you the link.
Yes, if you can. Quickly, I went to the Santa Marta conference in Colombia, and 50 countries have decided to approve a roadmap to transition away from fossil fuels. And of course, this is not, well, it's a different approach from F4CR. There is based on governance, while here we're more based on science and the private sector initiatives. But I think the two movements must listen to each other. And here in Panama, another news, we will have, by the end of May, John Skull and Brian von Hersen announce a conference here on the risk and opportunities from upwelling failure in the Pacific Ocean for the fishing industry, Canal of Panama and agriculture, about cloud seeding via ecosystem and marine restoration, and about shipping and cooling, restoring cloud cover to slow warming. So we will hope we will have here an interesting conversation about these topics. And I think it's important to share it with the Foundation for Climate Restoration here.
Thank you very much. This is the Climate Restoration Alliance. I know it's confusing, but like Chuck said, we're all brothers and sisters. So again, I want to remind you, if you're not yet a monthly donor, become one. The amount doesn't matter. If you are in a position to make a bigger contribution, anything over $1,000, talk to us. So you can become a climate restoration founder or a champion or a corporate sponsor. That would be great. And of course, if you haven't signed the pledge, please do so now. You're going to see the links again in the chat. Any other questions?
I put the link in the chat for that video, Ilan.
Thank you. Thank you very much. All right. Looks like we are complete. Only 16 minutes late. So thank you very much. We are complete for this April Climate Restoration 2050 mission update. We will see each other next month. Good night.
Well done, Ilan and company. Good to meet you all.
Thank you, everyone. Thanks all.
Bye, everyone. Thank you for coming.
Bye-bye.